We are prepped.
I feel like I really have my shit together now. What's up guys, it's Kat and Dev from Two Market Girls. Welcome back to another vegan recipe. Today we are doing everyone's favorite thing to do, be prepared, meal preparation.
Yes. I love the idea of meal prep and I really wish I was good at it, but I'm just not the person that can meal prep.
I mean, to be fair, with this recipe today, you proved you're good at coming up with meal prep ideas.
No, I love coming up with meal prep ideas. I do that a lot, but I just am not the person that can like stick to, I'm gonna eat this for the rest of the week. Like by Wednesday, I'm like, I don't want this, I want something else. But I love this. I haven't tried this kind of method yet, where it's kind of versatile and you can kind of change it up a little bit. So I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, because usually meal prep is like you make a really big quantity of like one thing.
And you have enough of it for 5 days.
Exactly, but we decided to take it in a different route.
Yeah, it's more of like an ingredient prep.
Yeah.
So it preps a bunch of different ingredients and you can use it in a bunch of different ways so that it doesn't feel like you're eating the same thing every day.
Exactly.
And something else that I like, so we have a really delicious peanut dressing that goes with all of this, but if you want to cut that in half and do 2 different dressings so you can change that up and it now really feels like you're eating something completely different, our ginger tahini dressing from that bowl recipe is amazing.
Very good. Okay, so what do we make for our meal prep?
So it's kind of like a zucchini noodle bowl is the main component of it. So we did 2 different proteins, so you have some options. We did a tempeh and a tofu. We did a lot of roasted vegetables. We did some raw vegetables. And it's just kind of, you combine those into different bowls and wraps with a spicy peanut dressing.
So
which is
good.
amazing.
All right, let's go prep.
To start our meal prep, we're actually gonna prep one of the proteins first. We're using 2 different proteins so that you have some variety throughout the week. The first one is some marinated tempeh. We're actually using the recipe from our ginger tahini Buddha bowl. So you can check that up here. That's where the full recipe for that will be. So we're just gonna get that tempeh in the marinade and set aside while we prep everything else. Next, we're going to prep our second protein. We chose to do a smoked tofu. Now, we just bought a smoked tofu that you can get from the grocery store. So get that and slice it into about 1/2 inch cubes. And then we are placing that on a baking sheet along with about 2 crowns of broccoli kind of cut up into small florets. Then we're just gonna drizzle that with a little bit of sesame oil, but you can use whatever oil that you choose to, and toss that in an oven preheated to 350 for about 30 to 35 minutes or until they're nice and golden brown. While that's roasting, we're next gonna prep our sweet potatoes. So we took 1 medium-sized sweet potato and just cut it into small cubes and threw that into an air fryer for about 15 to 20-ish minutes. Next up, we are going to cut up our onions. We used 2 small yellow onions and we just kind of sliced them into thin slices. And we're just gonna set that aside for when it's time to cook those. Next up, we shredded about 1 medium carrot. I just used my knife to julienne these, but if you have one of those carrot shredders, you can also do that. And then finally, we're going to slice up 1/2 a cucumber and set that aside. Next, we're going to spiralize 2 medium zucchinis. So if you don't have a spiralizer, there are kind of like small things you can buy from the dollar store, or you can just shred this or like really thinly julienne it so it's kind of noodle-like. But I have a spiralizer, so I just spiralize those really quickly with the thicker noodles. Put that in a glass jar and set that aside. Alright, so while everything else is still cooking, we're going to prepare our peanut sauce. To do this, we're going to add all of our ingredients into a food processor. So that includes a 1/3 cup of peanut butter, 2 tablespoons of lime juice, 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, a teaspoon of sesame oil, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger paste, a teaspoon of your favorite hot sauce, and some water to thin it out. But this will kind of depend on the state of your peanut butter. We used the kind of bottom leftovers of our peanut butter jar that were really chunky. So we needed about a 1/3 cup of water to thin this out. But you may only need about a tablespoon or 2, so I would add it slowly until you get it to the consistency that you want. You want it kind of like a salad dressing consistency. So once that's done, you can put that in a bottle, just store in your fridge and set that aside. Once your sweet potatoes have finished air frying, you can put them in a container and set them aside. And now we're going to caramelize our onions in the air fryer as well. So you throw the onion slices in there with about a half teaspoon of your choice of oil and allow it to kind of saute in there for about 10 to 15 minutes or until they're nice and golden brown. So once the onions have finished cooking and you've placed that in a jar to store, we are finally going to finish up with our last protein and place all the marinated tempeh into the air fryer and allow that to air fry for about 10 to 15 minutes or until it's nice and golden brown. Okay, so I'm someone who kind of gets bored with meal prep things or eating the same thing over and over again, so we made this so that it's kind of versatile. So there's a lot of different toppings that you can combine together. One of my favorite ways to enjoy this is just with that bed of zucchini noodles. So you start with a bed of zucchini noodles, add whatever toppings you want, and toss with that dressing. It is so good, but you can also combine this into a wrap with your choice of toppings and that dressing. Another great way to enjoy this is in a sandwich or on a bed of rice or just as a simple salad with some lettuce.
Done.
We are prepped.
I feel like I really have my shit together now.
Yeah, no, it's actually a really good meal and it's like super filling. Like there's a lot of good components with this and it's all healthy and delicious.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try it now because
we're trying.
Spoiler alert, we've eaten it already.
What? No.
So we're trying the bowl.
With the nudes.
Oh my god, these
More
noodles.
nudes.
Zucchini noodles are so long.
It's gonna be messy.
Yeah. All right, ready?
I gotta like twirl it around
Yeah,
my
it's like
fork
spaghetti.
Like spaghetti.
I love this dressing so much. It's so good. Now there's hot sauce in the dressing, but if you don't like spicy food, that's completely optional. But it's actually not that spicy.
No, you
It
could
just
add
adds
more.
a nice little hint of heat. Do you want some hot sauce on top?
No, it's okay.
Guys, this tempeh recipe from that ginger tahini bowl again
It's so good.
is so good. Should we try the wrap? Because neither of us have tried the wrap yet.
That's true.
Yeah, that's another good thing, is that I would lightly dress it when you're wrapping it, because then the wrap could get soggy in transportation. But if you put some like in a little jar on the side and bring it with you, you can kind of drizzle it with sauce as you eat it. Ready?
Okay, no tinfoil? Okay.
It really feels like you're eating something completely different. It's so weird. I really like it as a wrap.
Me too.
Guys, make this wraps.
Wow.
I mean, I love me a zucchini noodle bowl, but it's wrap though. And if you plan on just making it as wraps, I would make these more like strips.
Yeah.
Easier to kind of layer in there.
Even though it's like very, very vegetable heavy.
It doesn't taste vegetable heavy.
No, I don't feel like I'm having a lame lunch.
Yeah, and I think that all comes down to the dressing. When you have a really creamy dressing, it doesn't feel like you're eating, like half of this is raw vegetables. And it doesn't feel that way. When you have this really creamy dressing, that's actually not that bad for you. There's a little bit of oil in there, probably a high percentage of salt because there's soy sauce in there. But they're all kind of natural ingredients, and it's peanut butter. We use peanut butter without any sugar in it, so it's a pretty healthy lunch you're having.
And then when you get a piece of tofu or tempeh, it's just like, We need that balance of like vegetables and like the hearty protein.
Yeah, it is so good. I love this.
Me too.
I might actually try to make this for a meal prep one week. Because
Me
I think with the combination of the wrap and the bowl, I think I might be able to do it.
Now, full disclosure, I'll be honest, I don't have a spiralizer. There's no friggin' way I am cutting up a zucchini
Yeah.
like this. I will probably just substitute rice or quinoa or something.
Yeah, so if you don't have that, I really like the freshness of the zucchini, but if you don't have one, don't worry about that. You can use lettuce in substitute and make it a salad instead, spinach, arugula, rice, quinoa, couscous, whatever you want. But I'm surprised that it like didn't take that long to make.
No.
When you get everything going in its separate things. And also, like, all this stuff can be baked if you don't have an air fryer. So you can do that instead. And the onions can be sauteed instead, or... I really like them in the air fryer because they kind of get crispy.
They do, yeah.
It's really cool. This is really delicious.
I know, I just want to keep eating.
No, yeah, I'm it's all in the dressing, guys. That dressing is so good. A good creamy dressing is like, so, you can't replace a good creamy dressing. It's so good. Wow, I'm so happy with this.
Me too.
Thank you for asking us so much about meal prep.
Yeah, we finally followed through.
Maybe I'll start meal prepping.
Should we just talk about meal prep in the comments?
I actually want to hear some, like, let's discuss tips and tricks, like how you don't get bored of meals if you're someone who gets bored of meals but can still meal prep. You know, what kind of tips and tricks? Because there's probably a lot of people who are like me that get really bored with recipes really quickly. So I want to hear what other people do to kind of mitigate that.
And if you do a similar style where you do ingredients instead of like whole full dishes that you can't like change throughout the week, let us know what your go-to ingredients are to have on hand to make these easy, versatile meal preps.
Yeah, and something that I also really like about this is that if you don't like broccoli, sub it for cauliflower. Like, you can literally do anything. We're giving you kind of our favorites, but like, if you don't like carrots, do something completely, do zucchini slices instead of the zucchini spirals and stuff. You know, you can sub anything you want for all this stuff, so. I'm happy with this.
I'm happy with it too.
And I'm excited for the discussion in the comments.
Yay!
Do you guys want to see more meal prep videos? Please don't.
I feel like they do.
Yeah, I think they do. This is like, technically I think this is more of a lunch than a dinner.
Yeah.
But like, I would totally have this for dinner too. Especially the bowl.
I was going to say, especially in the summer too. When you want something fresher and lighter.
Actually, you know what? If you're going to meal prep this for dinner, I would make it with rice.
Yeah.
Especially in the winter when you're looking for something a little heavier and a little heartier. I would meal prep it with some brown rice. It'd be so good.
Alright, that's going to be it for this video. The recipe will be in the description box below, as usual. Also in the description box below will be a link to our podcast. Go check that out. If you like our little banter that we have in these intros and outros, it's like that, but it's way more unfiltered because it's called TMG Unfiltered.
It lives up to its name.
Yep. We talk about veganism, we talk about social media, we talk about videography and photography, and anything in the news, we just kind of share our thoughts.
Yeah.
If you've got ideas for topics you'd like to hear us discuss, let us know in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe.
Yes.
So you don't miss any future vegan recipes every Sunday, whatever Wednesdays, every other Wednesday, and you never know when we're going to throw a vlog in there.
Yeah.
So hit that bell.
Also, come back next week because we're going to do an awesome oil-free recipe.
Oh.
Oil-free snacking.
Very fun.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Alright, we're going to finish eating all of this, so goodbye. So much for meal prep. We're going to eat it all in one go.
We're going to finish eating our 5 days worth of food right now.
Yep.
Has anyone ever, I think we've talked about this, has anyone ever meal prep dessert?
We totally talked about that. We said something that was meal prep dessert. Wasn't it like cookies or something?
Yeah, I think so.
We're
making cookies.
They're portable. You can meal prep them. Yep, that's cookies.